Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to get into some storm damage that's rolled across the U.S. in the corn soybean growing area. And the USDA release is at 11 o'clock later today. Probably talk about that tomorrow. So I'll just get into some of the weather here. You can see that the storm track has basically uh, cover the northern part of the major corn soybean growing area, and it's thought to have quite a bit of damage here. And you can see all the uh, uh, dots of high intensity and a fair bit of rainfall has already happened in the last 24 hours. And this is rainfall and hail, so you can see the size of the hail has actually been pretty impactful. And the winds was pretty severe as well, so it's pushed down some of those big, tall corn crops. Not certain if it's going to actually recover from that, or if you can actually get under those corn that's been damaged there. But it's big. It's a huge track. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. There's still storms rolling across the U.S. as we speak as well. Super El Nino is still ramping itself up here as it keeps on strengthening. And just here, this just kind of gives you an idea of the time of year when we get these Super El Nino as well. So December to February is probably going to be the critical timeline when it actually gets full force here. But June to August, it's already impacted India, and it's starting to have some impacts over in the Indonesia, Malaysia areas as well. And you can see that there's um, countries that are going to be impacted again is Australia. Looks like, of course, Brazil, Argentina. You're going to get some dry, warm situations, but the main countries are probably still closer to the equator where the biggest impacts are going to be. Just a quick look here. Wheat jumps as Black Sea supply risks mount. Wheat prices surged more than 3% above whatever on Wednesday. Prices jump as reports of major Ukraine attacks in the terminal Novorossiysk, which is a major grain exporting facility. There's also a fair bit of oil that gets shipped out of there for Russia as well, and there's some U.S. ownership in some of those ports as well. Two grain terminals, Russia halt after Ukrainian attacks. So there's just going to be a slowdown of just movement out of those areas for sure. As this just keeps escalating, there doesn't seem like there's any defense anymore. It's just offense, and they're trying to hit each other where it hurts, right? Because Ukraine hasn't. Actually, Russia's trying to hit Ukraine in where there's people living, so they're trying to take out some population as well. Besides crippling their exports as well, and Ukraine is hitting Russia in the shipping lanes, so that they can't export. So canola is up 280 at 783. Soybean oil is basically unchanged, right around the 68 cents a pound. Crude oil right around the $82 a barrel price. West Texas, or no, sorry, the diesel fuel is over $4 again. Soybeans trading up 5 cents at 11.73. Spring wheat up 14 cents in the spring wheat area, up 23 in your hard red winter, and 18 on the Chicago. So that's the biggest jump has hit some of the wheat. Corn is only up 4.5, and the Canadian dollar is up again. So I've tried to keep the whole view the same, so you can see basically how long this market has actually been running here as well. And I did try to pick a point here where it made it high, and you can see that it got very close to bouncing off of that previous highs. You got a couple of points where it actually touched, and but this trend is making higher highs and higher lows, of course, on the canola. We could very well have seen the seasonality come in here, or seasonality still come in, but I don't know how far it's going to go down. If it gets down to that line, very good chance it's going to bounce off of there, just from the chart structure that I see. Now, everybody interprets them differently. Same thing with European rapeseed. You can see that it's got underlying support here. It's in the middle of the range here just for the last couple of months, but same timeline horizon, and they're it's had some pretty good run here. Soybean oil, the same time horizon as well, run up with all the the policy and everything else, but it's still not the same length that you're seeing in the canola. Soybean futures, if we're just looking at the channel. It is a pretty deep channel with lots of range of trade, but you can see that it's in the middle of that channel going up. Crude palm oil. If we're going to start drawing in channels, there we are. It still looks like it's leaning up, and this is one of the culprits that's driving it is your diesel fuel. But then here we are. You've got uh, diesel trying to make new highs here almost. Demand across the world is pretty high on diesel fuel. Gasoline's pretty high. Here's your Canadian dollar, just the same length time horizon view here. Does look like we're trying to recover, and I guess if there's a deal signed here soon on the USMCA and all the other trade problems that Canada, US are having, you can maybe see the Canadian dollar maybe get a bit of a run going up here. Quick look at wheat, same time horizon as well. So you can see these multiple highs that the market made, in that 650 kind of 655 range, and here we are. We're rallying up. We're rallied up a decent amount here today. 13 cents. It said when I took that screenshot. Kansas, those same area is. Kansas is nowhere again. It's not getting anywhere close to that same previous highs that were made in the previous time horizons here. Same thing with all the wheats here, basically. Here's a European corn futures. It still looks like it's just still